Okay, so this video is intended to demonstrate the health of the motor that's in my car. It currently has 112 some thousand miles on it. I have owned this car since it had 45,000 miles or 48,000 miles. I purchased the car in June of 2011. This is currently January 2023. So I've had this car for 12 years. I've never loaned it. I have been more or less the exclusive driver of it. My wife refuses to drive this car. 95% of its life it's been garage kept. Even before I owned a house and I stayed in an apartment, I paid for a garage and I would only stay in an apartment that had a garage. So it's been garage kept. It came from Florida. So I found this car actually for sale on a forum in Florida. But then a couple weeks later, I found an eerily identical car for sale in Memphis, Tennessee. Turns out the guy in Memphis owned a car dealership, bought this car at auction while he was in Florida on vacation, drove it back to Memphis, and then sold it, and I bought it there. It has been in Arkansas since 2011, in the Little Rock area. I've moved around, but it's been a Little Rock area. No rust, none of that stuff. It's been driven in the rain and stuff as a daily driver. Not a daily driver. I don't drive it every day, but it's a regular driver. I've put 60,000 miles on it, so I drive it, I don't know, 5,000 or 10,000 miles a year. We do take it on trips and things. We just took it to Big Cedar Lodge in Arkansas. We just did that in June. And so it got like 500 miles in 5 days on that because we drove it up there and back. Took it on my honeymoon to Eureka Springs. It's been to Arizona. It's been a really good car. Same motor. It is boosted right now. It is turbocharged. But I tuned cars for a living for 2 years. And I tuned this car. It sits around between 585 and 600 horsepower, which is so the limit for these LS motors is about 650. About 650, you'll start to bend rods or blow head gaskets. So I've held it around 600 to the tire, 600 to the tire. The whole time it's been boosted. It's only ever seen 6 or 7 PSI. That's it. And it's been running on E85 for the bulk of the time it's been boosted. I think for the first year that I had the turbos on here, I ran it on 91 or 93 until I pinned the flex fuel sensor in there, and then it's been on E85 ever since. If you want to see information about the turbos and all that kind of stuff, I have a YouTube channel. That YouTube channel has chronicled the history of this car since I started modifying it. And that is the only reason I'm selling the motor that's in the car right now, is because I have a fully forged 6.2 that I just built. It's a 416 stroker. It's still the 100% stock 6 liter that came in this the day I bought it. It's never had headers. It's never been opened up. It's never had the heads off of it. Still the stock springs, and I've never revved it really high. It has relatively small turbos on it that make peak boosts at 5,000 RPM, and then the boost falls after that. So there's no reason to rev it. I rev it to about 6,000 and then shift. It's seen like 6,800 or 7,000 once or twice in its lifetime. Bone stock starts every time, makes 0 noises, has 0 leaks. So it's actually really cold today. It's like 7 degrees outside, and this is my thermometer. You can see here, it's my hand, 90 degrees. The cylinder head is 44 degrees right now, and it will start up and not make a sound other than normal cold start noises. I drove it Saturday. Today is Wednesday, so it's been sitting here for, I guess, Saturday afternoon, so Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So it's been sitting here for like 3 odd days without starting. and it will start up. No issues, will make no noises. I guess just to prove I'm not like lying or whatever, here's my bare hand. So that alternator is 48 degrees. The cylinder head's 44. Can touch it. It's really, really cold. Temp, oil 34-ish psi, which is 100% normal. Oil temp 40 degrees. Coolant temp 55 degrees. So I have tuned it to idle around 600 RPM. No, sorry, 700 RPM. This is my boost controller slash wideband. So I have this reading live all the time so I can monitor in case anything happens. So I'm gonna let it just sit here and run. Today, I'm gonna start taking the motor out of it. So I've gotta play musical cars. It's going on the lift. And I've gotta just move cars around. I've gotta move my truck over here. I have to move my Corvette over there. And so I've got to move things around. So I figured this is a good time to showcase the health of the engine. So it's now down to normal idle. And that buzzing sound that you can hear back here, oh, it doesn't smoke. This is because it's 40 degrees outside. That buzzing noise, that's the oil scavenge pump. I have an electric pump that sucks the oil out of the turbos and returns it back to the car. So that buzzing sound is just the oil scavenge pump. And you'll hear it when I turn the car off. I have a timer where it runs the oil pump for an additional 30 seconds after the car gets turned off. But I'll let you guys watch the whole thing of me moving it around so you can see that it's a healthy motor. all of those are from my truck. My truck normally sits over here and the Corvette normally is over there, but I had to fiddle with some stuff on my truck. Ugh. Just so you can see, it's not like oh, it gets warm and the oil pressure drops. Coolant's 170. I have a 180 thermostat in it, so it's not going to get much hotter than that. Oil pressure still 30 psi, oil temp's 90. So it doesn't lose oil pressure once it gets hot or something. Pop the hood again so you can hear. Every noise in here is 100% normal. I think the only smoke you're gonna see is from the cold day. Give you a couple revs. Go. Guess I'm gonna cut it off. I don't know what else to demonstrate to show that it's a perfectly healthy motor with nothing wrong. I guess I can show you the mileage. Let's see what the mileage is. $113.8. And hours, oh, I just missed it. 12 days, 18 hours, something like that. Oh, the other thing is I regularly change the oil at 3,000 mile intervals. And if I've been driving it hard, you know, I've been out messing around, whatever, hard meaning up to 5,000 or 6,000 RPM, I usually change it at about 1,500 miles. It doesn't ever go more than a couple thousand miles without an oil change. And I've always put full synthetic 530 in it. During the summertime, I usually put 1030 in it, just to give it a little bit thicker of an oil, because the oil runs at 225, 226 when it's 110 degrees outside here in Arkansas. And then usually September or so, like June, July, August, I usually run 1030, and then around September or October, I usually change it back over to 530. It has 530 in it right now. There you go. That buzzing was the oil pump running after I turned it off. So, questions, let me know. There it is. Perfectly good LS2, ready to drop in and start up, and away you go.
just took the hood off, and I'm about to start disassembling things to put the 416 in it. And I thought, I guess there's a couple of things I could do, a couple more things I could do to show you the engine's healthy. So it's been a few days since I made that last video. Two of my kids got the flu, and one of them got really bad really quick, so I haven't been able to work on this at all, but I can show you there's no like blown head gasket or anything. This has been sitting here since I made that video a week ago, and there's no oil, there's no water. You can see it's clean oil. You know, I keep it changed. I want to say it's pretty close to time for oil change on this. I have to go look at the trip meter real quick. The other thing I'm going to do is pop the spark plugs out real quick so that you can see that there's no, no melted spark plug. I change the spark plugs in this about once a year because I run, well, I'll show you here in a minute. Because I run a copper electrode spark plug, and a copper electrode spark plug wears out pretty quick. So your gap will open up after, I don't know, 10,000 miles. And I check the spark plugs regularly to make sure nothing is melted or whatever. Make sure there's no issues. So I'm literally doing this live because I don't want there to be any questions. I can't remember. It's been a little while. It's like 6 or 8 months since I've had the plugs out of this. I honestly haven't driven it too much because as soon as I decided to put the 416 in there, I basically stopped driving it. Just because I didn't want to put any more miles on the motor. I just wanted it to be 100% ready to sell so I can get money out of it to go toward the 416. So I have probably put 2,000 miles on it in the past 6 months. I've been driving it about once a week, maybe twice a week on a good week. So nice and black, which is what I like, because I always run my cars a little on the rich side, and this is the plug I run. It's a really cold plug, but nice and black. No issues there. Let's check the gap real quick. I'm not gonna get like feeler gauges and stuff. I just want a good estimation. Yeah, see, I normally gap them around 20 or 22, so it's time for another set. So that's like 26 or 28. They burn through the copper electrodes so fast, but they're only like $2 or $3 a plug. And I've tuned 1,000 horsepower with these plugs. They're excellent plugs. I've been running them in here ever since I put the turbos on it. So 5, 6 years, something like that. But these are good plugs. Let's pop just one more out just so you can see. I don't know, pick your poison. Let's do the one all the way here in the back. It's so cold out right now. It's hard to get anything to work with aluminum. on. Jeez. Am I even? Yeah, okay. There we go. Nice and black and sooty. Two plugs are nearly identical. I'm not going to do all 8, but you get the point. It's a very healthy motor. I can't, I guess maybe I can show you the coolant. Show you that there's no oil in the coolant. Oh, come on. There we go. Finally. You get a light. I honestly can't remember the last time I looked at the coolant, but that's darn near clear because I just put fresh coolant in it a year or two ago. Can't remember. I had to change the radiator. The radiator cracked and started leaking, so I had to change the radiator, and I put all new GM Dexcool whatever coolant in there. I'm not sure what else to do to prove it's a healthy motor, and I'm only selling the motor because I'm putting the forged 416 in it, which is still sitting right there. Still haven't done anything with it. You know, sick kids. So it's about to come out of there. Probably going to be a slow process because the kids are still sick. They're on the mend, but they're still sick, so probably going to be several days of working on it to get it out of there. There you go.